Jeff Klauser, General Manager of Epic Manufacturing, and I'd like to talk to you about the Epic advantage of our stainless steel hydraulic mulch grinder. The mulch grinder on our machines is a stainless steel housing, and it's hydraulically driven. There's a hydraulic motor that drives a shredder shaft inside of this chamber. Basically, you would put a bale of mulch on the tray, cut off the plastic, and feed the whole bale in one at a time to load the machine. The reason there's an advantage to having a mulch grinder is because, number one, it's going to speed loading. The paddles inside the tank are more than capable of breaking up the bales of mulch, but that adds to the amount of time you need to mix the slurry to get it fully incorporated and fully homogeneous. With the grinder, you're loading those bales in pieces, so the paddles have a much quicker job of incorporating the mulch into a homogeneous slurry with your seed, your fertilizer, your lime, etc. Something else to take into consideration is the history of bales of mulch and how they're made. Back in the earlier days of hydroseeding, hydraulic mulch bales came in a 60-pound bag. Within that 60-pound bag, there were two 30-pound sections, or charges as they were called, and those 30-pound charges were made into flakes. So you would throw them right into the tank, the paddles would hit that 60-pound bale, break it into two 30-pound charges, and then break up those flakes very easily. Now, fast forward to today, and all of your hydroseeding mulch is made in a 50-pound brick. There are no sections, there are no flakes. It's a lot harder for the machine to mix. And what you end up with is, as you get towards the end of your mixing your slurry, the last few bales have a tendency to float above the paddles if you've got a little more water in the tank than you should. Now, like I said, our machines can mix a full slurry without a grinder. We can build a machine with just a loading hatch like our competitors and mix the slurry. The paddles are more aggressive than anybody on the market with more power and more torque. So we have perfect capability of mixing a slurry without our grinder. But as we discussed, or as I mentioned earlier, the grinder adds a level of performance that you're not going to get just dumping the bales in the tank, because you're loading it pre-processed and it can mix much faster. It also is less dependent upon how much water is in the tank. You can fill the tank up with water and then load all your mulch, and because you're shredding it, it'll mix in. You're not going to have to worry about those bales floating up above the paddles. Also, the industry has moved more and more to engineered mulches, BFMs, FGMs, different more complex mulches that have cross-linking agents, tackifiers, fibers, a lot of more complex ingredients. Those mulches are going to mix better in your tank if they've been shredded through a grinder first. And it's just going to be a much quicker slurry to mix, so you're ready to spray much faster. In addition, several of our customers like preloading a tank load of material. No water in the tank at all, you just run all the mulch through the grinder, so your first tank load is staged and ready for when you get to your water source. That allows for more material storage on the top deck, because your first tank load is already inside the tank. So there's a lot of good reasons for the grinder, we feel. We even have competitors who have owned competitive machines that have put our grinder on machines from our competitors, but for those very reasons I just discussed, because that main issue is you fill it too full of water, the paddles want to be, the bale wants to float above the paddles. We don't have that problem with the grinder. So that's the Epic advantage of a stainless steel hydraulic mulch grinder, and it's a great option, and the majority of our machines end up getting one, and our customers really enjoy that option. Thank you very much.